Parliament resumed after a month's break the budget session, and not surprisingly, the riots and the aftermath have rocked the Parliament on day one. The riots that have left 46 dead, over 200 injured. The opposition had one target today, Home Minister Amit Shah. MP after MP of the opposition demanded his resignation and forced the adjournment of the House. Matters reached a point where there was a minor scuffle as well in the Lok Sabha. All through this, Amit Shah maintained a stoic silence and an unfazed smile. Tonight the question, who's accountable, if not Mr. Shah, for the riots? It's our top story tonight.
The demand for Home Minister Amit Shah's resignation began moments after the budget session resumed on Monday. A united opposition had come prepared to target the Home Minister for the Delhi riots, and the government and the BJP knew what it was up against. On his part, the Home Minister appeared unfazed as he stopped to pose for the cameras with a smile on his face before entering Parliament.
नैतिक अधिकार नहीं है अपने पद पर बने रहने का.
From the Aam Aadmi Party, demanding a probe by a sitting Supreme Court or High Court judge, to Mamata Banerjee calling the riots a planned genocide. And the Congress hell-bent on demanding Shah's resignation. The government faced one volley after another. Amit Shah's silence was a stark contrast to the attack he had launched on Sunday in Kolkata.
हम उनको नागरिकता देना चाहते हैं. आप क्यों विरोध कर रही हो? क्यों आपको ये अपने नहीं लगते हैं? आपको मैं बताने आया हूं, 70 साल से जो शरणार्थी भाई यहाँ आए हैं, हम उनको नागरिकता देकर रहेंगे, उनको सम्मान देकर रहेंगे. मोदी जी सीए लेकर आए.
Shah has faced a lot of criticism for the handling of the violence in Delhi, the biggest charge being that he delayed action. But his ministry has claimed that Shah has chaired high-level meetings and was continuously monitoring the situation as the riots spread.
अमित शाह जी ने जिस तरह से 1.5 दिन में कंटेन किया है इस दंगे को, सारी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पावर अप्लाई की गई, एनएसए को वहां भेजा गया, सारी स्थिति पर कंट्रोल किया गया, लेकिन जिस प्रकार से जिन लोगों ने किया है और किस षड्यंत्र से किया है, इसकी जांच भी हो रही है और दोषियों को कड़ी से कड़ी सजा भी दी जाएगी.
But the opposition was not impressed.
This was all a pre-planned way of doing things. You cannot call this a communal riot. This is a genocide which was planned in a particular way.
Questions were even raised on leaders dining at the banquet for Trump while Delhi was burning. It was only on February 26th, 3 days after the riots broke out, that NSA Ajit Doval was dispatched to the riot-hit areas, tasked with bringing peace.
I strongly condemn the role of the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, and as decided by the Congress party, we demand his resignation. It is all inspired, managed and dealt with precision by Mr. Amit Shah himself.
The violence has left a deep scar on the soul of the national capital. As Delhi picks up the pieces, politics is in full swing. It is rare that in such a situation, the Home Minister of the country chooses to maintain an uneasy silence. As the opposition hits out at Amit Shah, BJP plays on the offensive. And it is Delhi and its people who lose out the most. With video journalist Madan, this is Mosmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
Now, the real political war is not only in the Parliament, it's also in Bengal. Remember, Amit Shah was there yesterday, accused Mamata Banerjee of spreading misinformation on the Citizenship Amendment Act. Today, Mamata hit back, saying that the Delhi riots were a planned genocide. Listen in to the Bengal Chief Minister.
আমার মন কাঁদছে, আমাদের অনেকেরই হৃদয় কাঁদছে। আমরা গভীরভাবে শোকাহত, আমরা মর্মাহত, আমরা দুঃখিত, আমরা ধিক্কার জানাই। গত কদিন ধরে দিল্লির মাটিতে যেভাবে মানুষ হত্যা হয়েছে, আমি মনে করি এটা একটা প্ল্যান্ড জেনোসাইড, গণহত্যা।
मोदी जी सीए लेकर आए, लाखों करोड़ों बंगालियों को नागरिकता मिल दी है। ममता दीदी ने इसका विरोध किया, बंगाल के अंदर दंगे करा दिए, ट्रेनें जला दी, रेलवे स्टेशन जला दिया। मैं ममता दीदी को पूछना चाहता हूं, ममता दीदी, ये मेरे नाम शूद्र और मतुआ परिवार के दलित भाइयों ने आपका क्या बिगाड़ा है, क्या बिगाड़ा है?
As the political temperature rises, let's raise the big questions then tonight. Is Amit Shah, as the Home Minister of the country, accountable or not for the Delhi riots? Is the opposition demand for Mr. Shah's resignation justified or not? Why has Amit Shah stayed silent on the violence so far? Are the Delhi riots an embarrassment for the Modi-Shah combined? Just some of the questions we'll raise tonight. Sudhanshu Trivedi, the BJP spokesperson and member of parliament, joins me. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, the Trinamool Congress MP and spokesperson. Sanjay Jha of the Congress. Rahul Srivastava, National Affairs Editor. Naresh Gujral, Rajya Sabha MP, Akali Dal, is also joining me. We hope to be joined by Ajoy Kumar of the Aam Aadmi Party in a moment. Let's turn to you, Sudhanshu Trivedi, because the opposition is gunning for you. And they are gunning for the Home Minister, who has stayed silent. Not a word of remorse has come so far, regret, apology for failing to control the riots from Amit Shah. You tell me, is the opposition justified or not in raising at least a demand for Amit Shah to be held accountable in some manner?
Rajdeep, you have raised a very appropriate word. Gunning. Yes, of course. The opposition is gunning. This is the same Congress party. Just 100 years back, when Mahatma Gandhi has given a call for non-cooperation, and there was a violence and arson in Chauri Chaura, he has withdrawn the entire agitation. And now, 100 years after, this is the Congress of the Sonia Gandhi, when it was provocation, burning, when the US president is there, and what she is saying? Sadak pe aa jao, aar paar ki ladai lado. So it's very clear that this type of agitation, in which for the first time in the history of India you have seen that not even a single appeal by any opposition leader to keep refrain and have peace. And as far as the planning is concerned, yes, of course, there should have been planning which will come out of the investigation. If Tahir Hussein's house is having a complete arsenal, the tons of this bricks which cannot be taken within few minutes, and so many bottles, other than the Umar Khalid's today's video, in which on 17th of February he is asking the Muslims to come out on 24th of February when the Trump is there in New Delhi. I think so many things will come out.
Are you telling me that the Home Minister of the country, Mr. Trivedi, sir, with due regards, are you telling me that the Home Ministry of the country has no accountability? The Delhi police reports into the Home Ministry. Does the Home Minister of this country have a sense of accountability or not?
I'm coming to that point. When it comes to Parliament, Home Minister categorically has given the statement when the CA was coming. Still, it is the unique and a peculiar movement in the entire Indian history in which there is a no pinpointed demand. If somebody says, withdraw CA as it is, then why they have filed 140 PILs? When the Supreme Court has accepted it, it means they are making their jurisprudence over and above the Supreme Court. Then they should withdraw all the 140 PIL and say that we will settle the thing on the street. But it is very peculiar. You are overmining the Parliament. You are overmining the Supreme Court. You are provocating the rights, never is speaking anything to put refrain and asking the resignation of Home Minister.
Okay, let me take that then. Let me take that to the Congress spokesperson. You are Sanjay Jha, according to the BJP, inciting people to come out on the streets, and therefore you have no moral right to call for the Home Minister's resignation. Your response?
Rajdeep, this is outrageous rubbish. I would like to tell my good friend Sudhanshu that it is a time to at least express remorse. 46 innocent Indians have been killed in cold blood. Both Hindus and Muslims have lost their lives for no fault of theirs. And you know, Rajdeep, the truth is, if Amit Shah is actually grinning at the cameras, that to my mind is the worst moral turpitude you can expect of any political leader when his own city has burned. And right now, he's the one who is solely responsible for its law and order. I mean, you can't be so thick-skinned and absolutely shameless. Mr. Amit Shah ought to resign if he had any moral conscience. Let me give you two examples where Amit Shah is directly responsible. Number one, there were very, very provocative, inflammatory speeches made by BJP leaders, and we all know who they were. Kapil Mishra, Prime, but there were others as well. Don't forget, Amit Shah himself triggered the whole, anti-Shaheen Bagh culture by talking about put a current on an EVM and send Shaheen Bagh a message. What was that political messaging all about? That is the dirty dog whistle politics that BJP leaders play. Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister, when he said you can know who the perpetrators are by the clothes they wear, you and I both know and the world knows that he was insinuating at the Muslim community. These are facts of life. So, when you look at the foot soldiers the Kapil Mishras of the world, they are pawns in the larger chessboard of the communal politics that Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah specialized in Gujarat. And look at the second part. There is evidence on record that the police was either hand in glove with the arsonists or they were plain indifferent. And in many cases, they have actually participated in the wide-scale violence that happened.
Mr.
Now,
Jha, Jha, I might remind you in 1984 when there was a terrible pogrom in this city, Sikhs were killed, 3,000 no less. Narasimha Rao was the Congress's Home Minister, 7 years later became Prime Minister. My point is it fair to ask for the resignation of an individual, or do you really want justice for the victims? Should the focus be on justice or resignations?
Well, let me tell you one thing here. There's a big difference. Justice for the victims will also include the resignation of Mr. Shah because he is directly responsible. And can you look at this hard reality, Rajdeep? The Prime Minister of our country, Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, have you seen a condemnation of that violence? Have you seen regret, apology, remorse? Have you seen any teardrops coming from them at all? They don't seem to care. They are nonchalant. It is part of the larger Hindutva ecosystem to try and polarize politics because the BJP believes that's the only way it can actually reap some kind of an electoral gain. So we all know they are targeting West Bengal, Assam and the rest of the country.
Sudhanshu Trivedi, respond once again to that there is no remorse, no remorse. You have Mr. Shah smiling today. It seems that the BJP wants to brazen this out. Surely a leader of substance would reach out to the affected people, whether Hindus or Muslims. Mr. Shah seems unable to do that at the moment.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, who has tried to put so much in verbosity, is so hollow here, talking about remorse. Rajiv Gandhi ne kaha tha, bada ped girta hai to dharti hilti hai. I asked you on the national television. Today you say that Rajiv Gandhi has said wrong. He was condemnable. If he would have been alive, you would have asked to fight an FIR. I will ask others to apologize for that. Ask it. 3,300 were massacres. After Nadir Shah's Katlayam in 1739, under the guise of the government, if there was an open massacre on the streets of Delhi was in 84, and the Prime Minister said, "Bada ped girta hai to dharti
Mr. Shah quickly, and those people Mr. Jha quickly responds.
Now I'm not going in the backwards.
Mr. Shah, Mr. Jha, not Mr. Shah, but Mr. Jha, quickly respond.
Yeah. Thank you for withdrawing, calling me Mr. Shah. Right now, that's not the title I wish to have. The point I wish to make here, Rajdeep, is that Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi is acting very self-righteous in taking the matter to 1984. The truth is, for the 1984 riots, and I speak here as a Congress spokesperson with full responsibility, it was a terrible tragedy. It was a heinous crime. and we should all hang our heads in shame. Now, I want Sudhanshu Trivedi to tell me, did Narendra Modi apologize for 2002? And I want the BJP spokesperson to tell me today, how does the BJP publicly respond to the massacre, the state-sponsored killing of Indians? I'm not saying just Muslims and Hindus, Indians that happened under Narendra Modi's watch. Mr. Trivedi, kindly respond to me. Kindly respond to me. Give me your response.
I have other guests, but Sudhanshu, one more chance to
let
respond.
him respond.
Let him respond. Let Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, your leader,
one sentence.
Mr. Narendra Modi,
On the
found
issue,
himself as chief
Sri
minister
Narendra
when
Modi
2002 happens. Your home minister now finds himself when it's under his watch that 46 Indians are killed. We can go back in time, but let's talk about today. I ask you again, where is the sense of remorse?
No. I want to respond to Mr. Sanjay Jha.
Yes, please do.
On the issue of Shri Narendra Modi ji has not said. He has said, forget about apologize. Maafi nahi, mujhe फांसी दो. And as far as the massacre is concerned, I would not like, it should not be appropriate to quote the number, but I will quote. 1150 लोगों की डेथ हुई थी. 750 मुस्लिम थे और 300 हिंदू थे. और यहाँ 3300 की डेथ हुई थी. 3300 के 3300 सिख थे. और जो पुलिस गोली में मारे गए वो हिंदू ज्यादा थे गुजरात में. और यहाँ पुलिस गोली से भी सिख मरा और दंगाइयों से भी सिख मरा. This was massacre and that was right. So this should be very clear about what was there. और मैं कह तो रहा हूं, राजीव गांधी के बयान के लिए माफी मांगी अभी. Modi ji never said like this. He said, माफी क्या, फांसी दो.
Let me for a moment, just a minute.
Let me remind Sudhanshu Trivedi, he talked about people coming down as puppies under a car. There can be nothing more repugnant, disgusting and reprehensible than that.
Gentlemen, we have other voices I want to hear. I want to hear Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar. Okay, Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar of the Trinamool. Today, your leader Mamata Banerjee has called it a planned genocide. The fact is, people in both communities have suffered. Hindus have suffered, Muslims have suffered loss of life and property. Are you also trying to play into people's fears at the moment by calling it a genocide? Mamata Banerjee, the Trinamool Congress also, because of your Bengal elections, are playing to a particular agenda, playing to a particular narrative, Ms. Dastidar.
No, I don't agree with you. First, let me tell you one thing, that All India Trinamool Congress is in mourning today. Whole of the country is weeping today. Because whatever had happened 20 years back, 18 years back, cannot be expected to happen today in 2020. And the United Nations has rightly tweeted that the Holocaust was not done in a day. It started off with hate speeches. When the ministers were giving hate speeches to kill particular people, then what was the ministry doing? What was the Bharatiya Janata Party doing? Why didn't they pull up their ministers? It is a pogrom because today, if
Hindus and Muslims have both suffered. I have been reporting from the field. Hindus and Muslims have both suffered. Why doesn't Mamata Banerjee go and reach out to people of both communities? No leader is reaching out to people of both communities.
Don't disturb me.
Okay.
Don't disturb me.
Okay.
It is, the police has been killed. Henchman of a Bharatiya Janata Party elected member was seen to point a gun at a policeman. Everybody is seen in the country. Why didn't the party suspend him and arrest him? In Bengal, it is never done. Yesterday, there was hate speech and 3 people have been arrested. In Bengal, justice is meted out to every wrongdoer. We don't look at the color. But here, people who have killed, people who have burnt houses, we've lost people. We don't know how many more we're going to lose because there were gunshots, more than I guess 18 number admitted in different hospitals. Ambulances were prevented and the people who have gunshot wounds in the hospitals, we don't know what's going to happen to them. So the whole system has failed India.
Okay,
and
you made your point strongly, ma'am.
To sit up. You know, the government had to take action by which this program could have been prevented.
Okay, let me once more, Sudhanshu, ask you this. You know, Amit Shah said a few weeks ago that the kind of language used during the elections was wrong. And yet, just a couple of days ago, again a peace yatra is held, alleged peace yatra, including BJP leaders, where again we hear people saying, Goli maro salo ko. I want to understand this. Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, if Amit Shah's words count, then the words must be met by action on the ground. Not one leader of the BJP has been even suspended who has used this kind of language. Kuch to karo. Something must be seen to suggest that the government is acting against its own.
I will give the answer both. First, one sentence I would like to say to TMC spokesperson. Person was also killed in Murshidabad on firing when he was a pro-CA protester. What action Trinamool Congress government has taken? Lower Daga is in Jharkhand. Pro-CA activist was killed. So we should be honest enough to have both the sides. Anybody who is killed, pro-CA or anti-CA, any sort of right. Now coming to the issue which you have said about the hate speech. Anurag Thakur has used the word देश के गद्दारों को. Then the people could have responded, धक्के मारो. People could have said, जूते मारो. People had said, गोली मारो. So has minister raised the slogan, गोली मारो? But still I say
so
that
if
as a minister, Goli Maro slogan was raised, he should have shown refrain and should have stopped.
He repeated
but
it.
मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ.
Nothing was done against him. No action was
मैंने
taken
कहा ना,
against him.
I said, ma'am, I said that when this slogan was raised, he should have stopped and he should have refrained. But मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि गोली मारने की बात जो आप कह रहे हैं देश के गद्दारों को, किसी को क्यों लगा कि मेरे लिए कहा जा रहा है? I'm unable to understand how can anybody himself, herself, itself or institution has taken on its own when 15 crore, 100 crore कहा जाए तो नहीं उसमें तो ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है.
Sir,
when there is a categorical numerical determination. और अगर देश के गद्दारों को कहा जाए तो मेरे लिए कहा गया.
You know, Waris Pathan deserves also firm punishment.
Projecting themselves on the
Sir, Anurag Thakur continues to be a minister in your government. Waris Pathan also should be acted against.
Nobody can take law in his hands.
Yes, let me
There
take
is
that.
law.
Let me take that to
There is a
Ajoy Kumar.
constitution.
Ajoy
How
Kumar
can
is
they
a
take
former
law in
IT.
their
Just a
hand?
minute, ma'am. Just a minute. Ajoy Kumar is a former IPS
Rajneet
officer now with the Aam Aadmi Party. Ajoy Kumar, you tell me, is there no responsibility also of the Aam Aadmi Party? You know, I am not clear. Does the Aam Aadmi Party also want Amit Shah's resignation? Because Amit Shah is claiming that he and Arvind Kejriwal held a series of meetings on the 24th to try and bring the situation under control. Is the Aam Aadmi Party's official stand that Amit Shah did not act? Or the police under him did not act?
No. Rajdeep, I don't know if you've been following the Aam Aadmi Party statements. We have right from the beginning saying that the abject failure of the Delhi police is the failure of Mr. Amit Shah. And if you see, so that there is an interesting parallel. Now that there is a new police commissioner and the BJP, I believe, thinks they've achieved their objective, suddenly you're, seeing a reasonable amount of action and steps being taken. So the fact is that the Bharatiya Janata Party, look, the offences committed on both sides, all of them, whether it is Waris Pathan, whether it is Anurag Thakur, the Indian state should have been dealing with them in the same measure. Action should have been taken against Waris Pathan, and in Delhi, action should be taken against all people who are spreading communal hatred on either sides of the aisle. But the problem, what Sudhanshu ji says, it is facetious, for Mr. Trivedi to say that, and it's the theatre of the absurd, that Mr. Anurag Thakur said, Desh ke gaddaron ko. They also know that who they are targeting, who is targeting. There is a peace march by Mr. Kapil Mishra which lands up saying these slogans. And then they said, why should you be worried? So kind of hate which is officialized, and the tragedy of India is...
I take your point. Let me turn to Naresh Gujral.
I'll just finish in 5 seconds.
No, let me turn to Naresh.
5 seconds.
Yes.
I'll just finish 5 seconds.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me just take this to Naresh Gujral, who I spoke to earlier. I asked him a question. Your leader, Mr. Gujral, Prakash Singh Badal, has said minorities' trust needs to be regained. You are a BJP ally. How is trust to be regained, Mr. Gujral, when no one in the government is expressing any regret, where no action is taken of any kind against the Anurag Thakurs and the Kapil Mishras, where it seems the government wants this polarization to take place on the ground?
Rajdeep, when a tall secular leader, or I would say a secular statesman like Prakash Singh Badalji speaks out, you can imagine the anguish and the hurt that he must be feeling. The fact of the matter is that today minorities are scared, they are living in fear, and government has to reach out to them. And that is exactly the point Mr. Badal has made. You are right, so far there have been no indications, but I feel that the government must stoop to conquer. That is the only way to bring harmony back in this country.
You know, you're saying the government must stoop to conquer, but the opposition is saying that begins with the resignation of the Home Minister or some accountability of the Home Minister. I ask you this as a senior Rajya Sabha MP, does the Home Minister have any accountability or not when 46 people die in the national capital in communal violence?
Look, opposition is bound to make these demands. When we were in the opposition also, we used to make such demands. Whether he should stay or go, that is entirely the Prime Minister's prerogative. What I'm trying to say is that it is imperative that the suspicion, the fear that the minorities have, and the suspicion basically is because when CAA was passed, they were hurt. But when it got linked to NPR and to NRC, that is when this fear and suspicion came in, which has now unfortunately also turned into anger. It's important, it is imperative, and I think this was the NDA which was crafted by Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, which was all-inclusive, which was an NDA in which the entire country had faith. And I do hope that steps would be taken. And here I want to just mention one thing. Prime Ministers and governments cannot be rigid. They have to see, they have to hear the people. I remember when Mr. Nehru, way back, tried to make Hindi as a link language, and there was agitation in the south of India. Mr. Nehru's famous words, Hindi is important, but the unity of India is more important. I do hope that those words would be heard again.
You know, that's a very interesting analogy that you're giving, but Rahul Srivastav, I'll come to you at this moment because we are getting another big breaking story that the Prime Minister may quit social media. Amidst all of this that is happening, we haven't heard the Prime Minister really speak out strongly on the Delhi violence. Amit Shah has kept silent. Now we are getting news that the Prime Minister may quit social media. Try and make sense of the government's response to what has happened over the last week. Is the government actually, in a way, pushing for this polarization because they see electoral benefit in it? Is that how it is to be interpreted, what is happening?
See, Rajdeep, resignation demand by opposition is a tool. It has been done. BJP has demanded resignation over a rape of a girl in Bulandshahr against Akhilesh Yadav in 2016. Ashok Gehlot for the Kota medical tragedies. It's an instrument. The politicians have a thick hide, but not that. When the Bombay terror attack happened, Vilas Rao Deshmukh, Shivraj Patil, R.R. Patil all resigned. People resign. They take responsibility.
Does Amit Shah even, you've been speaking to BJP leaders, does he even contemplate the idea? Forget about resign, expressing remorse.
Rajdeep, there is none. Because the campaign, if you see, he's been speaking in public domain where he is defending CA and everything. If there is, I think what the BJP is trying to do is trying to hide behind the fact that there was a conspiracy. Rajdeep, if there was a conspiracy, if Trump was coming, if some people were trying to perpetrate violence, it is the state which is supposed to stop it. You cannot say that we are the victims of the conspiracy while you are supposed to tackle the conspirators against the law and order. The crisis here is the BJP is trying to find a fig leaf. And that is why there is no sense of remorse. I think they created a jinn. They created it, now it has spiraled out of control. And that is why I will say no accountability fixing, Rajdeep, at the political level or at the administrative level. No police officer acted against, no leader like Anurag Thakur or anybody acted against. Because in most of the exercises, Amit Shah himself has been an ally of these people. You know, Amit Shah said that Shaheen Bagh mein current jana chahiye.
You know, that's the question.
And that's the problem, that how can you fix accountability when there is message coming from the top?
You know, that's the question that comes again and again, Sudhanshu Trivedi. How is Amit Shah to distance himself from what happens in Delhi when he seems at one level to have incited it. The fact is, this was a very poisonous, toxic election that took place in Delhi. The question therefore arises, is Amit Shah at any level to be completely kept distant from what happens in the city?
Rajdeep, the problem is, it is a very peculiar type of arguments being given. I just ask an abstract statement. If somebody is standing on the street said, देश के गद्दारों को गोली मार दो, can I ask our learned panelists under which section of IPC he or she can be booked? But they will say, no, 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 no. It is not said, but it should be perceived that it is talked towards whom. Okay. In CA, there is no mention of taking citizenship of any Muslim. But it should be perceived that it is targeted to the Muslims.
No, no. Who was the Desh ke Gaddar? Let's cut the chase now. Sudhanshu Trivedi, who are the Desh ke Gaddar? Who were the Desh ke Gaddar? I heard it on the street. No, who are the Desh ke Gaddar? My point is, the problem is, the BJP is covering up this. Why cover it up? Why not accept it was a mistake?
Sharjeel Imam who was saying that I want to permanently cut the Assam.
He's in jail. Sharjeel is in jail. Sharjeel is in jail.
Of Shaheen Bagh.
Sharjeel is in jail for sedition.
That's what that is the problem. जो कहा नहीं गया, किसके अगेंस्ट कहा गया? Nobody else. But unnecessary somebody wants, जो कहा नहीं गया वो मान लो, जो लिखा नहीं गया वो मान लो. And I would like to ask Shri Naresh Gujral ji, he's talking about minorities. In CA Act, Parsis, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, all are taken into account. Are they not minorities? And Sukhbir Singh Badal on the floor of the House has said 75,000 Sikhs from Kabul are waiting for citizenship since years. It is providing to them. Are they not having sympathy to the Sikhs who are asking citizenship for which Dr. Manmohan Singh stood in 2003? And on the Vajpayee government, I would like to say one sentence. In the Vajpayee government, there was a CA Act came and the committee headed by Sri Pranav Mukherjee with the various members of the Congress party there, you know what mentioned, they mentioned the point number 9. वो point number 12 पे उन्होंने कहा पाकिस्तान बांग्लादेश के minority को
Sir, I am coming back to the violence.
Bangladesh should not get citizenship.
So we can debate CA and its provisions.
They have written.
I am talking about today, sir.
Creating a ruckus.
I am talking about today and the violence. 46 people have died, lakhs of property destroyed. Sanjay Jha, quick comment.
Okay, let me expose Sudhanshu Trivedi's brazen lies on your TV channel. He says, just a minute, sir. Anurag Thakur said, Desh ke gaddaro ko, and the audience said, Goli maro salo ko. Fair enough, but that may have happened the first time. When the Janta said, Goli maro salo ko, he did not stop. He actually did that again. He said, Desh ke gaddaro ko. So after hearing it, he actually provoked them again. Mr. Trivedi, he did that several times. He heard it.
Rewind karke dekh lijiye.
So
when the slogan was raised, he should have stopped.
He was provoking the audience and therefore he is responsible. He's guilty. He's guilty like Amit Shah. He's guilty like Narendra
Provoking
Modi.
Against
He's
whom,
guilty like Kapil Mishra.
Against the traitors of the country. You are taking the side of the traitors of the country. देश के गद्दारों के फेवर में आप खड़े.
You know, this is
देश के गद्दारों के गोली मारने में आपको क्या problem है?
Okay, gentlemen. We don't allow cross talk. 30 seconds. Ajay Kumar, you wanted 30 seconds. Go ahead. 30 seconds only.
Rajdeep, the issue is we are looking at the 1947 kind of a scenario where so much of hatred is being propagated by two sides. Right. And these guys are actually the people who are being most disloyal to the country. They are creating a divide which is we are seeing in the worst part of our history. And these people are responsible. And the leaders of this country are not only shamefully, not only apologizing, but they are tacit in their complicity.
Okay.
They are absolutely tacit in their complicity of creating this divide between people of this country.
Let me leave it there. Let me leave it. We've heard all sides. This debate is not going to end anytime soon. Remember, Parliament is only just... The Parliament has just begun at the moment. Much more is expected.
Take action. Take action.
Okay, you're saying
take action.
You're saying take action against Amanatullah Khan as well.
Anybody take action.
Okay, you're saying take action against Amanatullah Khan, take action against the Waris Pathan, also take action on hate mongers from all sides.
Take action.
Okay,
now,
my take on the Shah resignation. Accountability is an increasingly archaic concept in Indian public life. We have come a very long way from a time when Lal Bahadur Shastri as railway minister resigned over a railway accident, which is why the opposition demand for Home Minister Shah's resignation is unlikely to have any impact. It's purely typical reflexive action. Don't forget also that Narasimha Rao was the Congress's Home Minister during the horrific anti-Sikh pogrom of '84. 7 years later, he became the Prime Minister. And yet, Mr. Shah as Home Minister cannot shirk responsibility. The riots have already cast a shadow over his status as an all-powerful number 2 in the Modi government. As the old saying goes, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Here, the tough have been exposed as lacking the political will to save lives by ensuring law and order is maintained. The least Mr. Shah can do is express remorse at the failure to stop the violence. The best he can do is to ensure justice for the victims. Sadly, in most instances of organized mass violence in the country, the guilty get away. It's time to reverse that trend. If Mr. Shah wants to rebuild trust and confidence, he must be seen to be proactive in ensuring justice for all. As a politician, he has every right to take on the opposition on the Citizenship Amendment Act. As a minister in charge of law and order in the national capital, he needs to look beyond electoral politics and vote banks. Remember, Mr. Shah, you are the Home Minister for every Indian citizen, not for a specific religion, party or ideology.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.